Today, the purpose of my preaching is to explain the meaning of fullness of time. We just read Galatians chapter 4. The fullness of time. 때가 참해. God sent for His Son. So what does that mean? The fullness of time. And secondly, I have to explain the meaning of Jesus was born of a woman and born under the law. So first, today we read Genesis and New Testament Galatians, Abraham and his descendants, and Israel and Jesus. The Bible mentions these are not separated. Genesis chapter 12, God promised, through you, Abraham, all nations will be blessed, and you will be a blessing. And some people may think, oh, what kind of blessing? He's going to be rich. He's going to be healthy entire his life. But that blessing will be explained later. That's the blessing of becoming his children. Blessing of becoming his people. Whether Gentiles or Jews. Whether male or female. Whether slaves or free men. It doesn't matter. If you have right faith like Abraham had, then by faith you will become his people. But God prepared that salvation since Abraham. How many years? Over 2,000, 4,000 years. But think about during that time period, so many obstacles, difficulties, or enemies attack, histories, kingdoms rise up and destroy many things between that time period. But God never gave up for our salvation. Once He promised through Abraham, whoever believes in Jesus Christ like you, and you will be my people. So time is being prepared. Time is being prepared. Abram, Isaac, Jacob, 12 sons, 12 tribes, tribe of Judah, King David, and Joseph, Mary, now Jesus Christ. So these are all one great story. They're not separated. It's one story, redemptive story, saving story for you and me. So I want us to consider the faithfulness of God. No matter what, God faithfully prepared the time. And at the fullness of time, now time is full, Jesus was born. So if we believe in Him, it doesn't matter what kind of life you lived before, you will become His child. So God's love is not temporal. His love is not sentimental. His love is not improvised. His love is steadfast. He never gives up. When I prepared this message, we are going to visit a nursing home afternoon, right? We prepared. And June 사모님, she already bought all the gifts for elderly people. But we got the message, the facility completely closed. So no one is allowed to come in. Even though we prepared, we didn't know what will happen. So something blocked the path, blocked the way. But we might think, okay, let's do it later, or let's do something else. We might give up. We might give up, share our love. We might give up, help others. But how much more God tried to save people in sinful world and during couple thousand of years. Many difficulties, suffering, sickness, problems, politically, economically, culturally. But God didn't give up. God prepared one by one, and the fullness of time, 때가 참에, Jesus was born. It shows the faithfulness of God. That's what his birth is all about. It's not just like a one event, one incident. The preparation, long time. Secondly, we have to understand the meaning of Jesus was born of a woman. If God said, any one of you wants to be saved, you have to come up. You have to be more like me. You have to pass the exam, certain level, so you will be saved. If that's the condition, I think no one will be saved. But God said, for your salvation, I will come down. I will send my son born of a woman. He will become a man. He emptied his divinity. He lowered down his authority. He humbled himself and became like one of us. That's the salvation. That's the birth of Jesus Christ. His humbleness. And God does not wait until people come to him to be saved. He always reaches out first. That's his love. His love is so active. His love is so aggressive. Because not many people realize how sinful they are and, oh, I need to be saved. Oh, I need Jesus Christ. Let's go back to God. Not many people act like that. They don't even know what sin really is. They don't even know who God really is. They don't even care who Jesus really is and why he was born, and just sitting down and living their life in this world, pursuing worldly success. But God's love is always reaching out to people first by humbling himself, by lowering his status to become like one of us. That's the meaning of he was born of a woman. And also Jesus was born under the law. Jesus was born under the law. In the Bible, it explains there are many purposes of the law. But one of them is to make people, help people understand their sins. So without the law, there's no standard. Everybody thinks, I'm okay. I'm good enough. But if there's a certain standard and you have to compare, stand before a mirror and see yourself, reflection. And, oh, I'm not good enough according to that law. So the purpose is to expose the reality of sin in your life. That's the law. But how about Jesus? Do you think he needs to learn and keep the law? No, why? Because he is sinless. He is God. He has no sin. So he doesn't have to be tested, right? He doesn't need a standard. He is the standard. He's perfect. He's holy. He's the one who created the law. But the reason why Jesus was born under the law is because so that we may receive adoption. We may receive salvation. Jesus, born under the law and kept all the requirements of the law and made perfection and righteousness of God. And whoever believes in Jesus, he will exchange. I will take yours and you take mine, my righteousness. That's his love. That's the reason why Jesus was born. That's what the Christmas is all about. God's faithfulness and his steadfast love. He never gave up. He reached out first. He humbled himself for us, not for himself. And interestingly, about 2,000 years ago, one man, he realized the purpose and meaning of Jesus' birth and the heart of his Father, why he sent his only Son into this world. His name is Paul. Paul realized not just Christmas Day, he realized the heart and mind of God the Father. His love. His heart for the people, for the world. So, Apostle Paul, he lived his life according to that heart. And wrote these words, pouring out his heart. 우리 고린도전서 9장 19절 처음부터 천천히 한번 같이 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 시작. 내가 모든 사람에게서 자유로우나 스스로 모든 사람에게 종된 것은 더 많은 사람을 얻고자 함이라. 유대인들에게 내가 유대인과 같이 된 것은 유대인들을 얻고자 함이요 율법 아래 있는 자들에게는 내가 율법 아래 있지 아니하나 율법 아래 있는 자 같이 된 것은 율법 아래 있는 자들을 얻고자 함이라. 율법 없는 자들에게는 내가 하나님께는 율법 없는 자가 아니요 도리어 그리스도의 율법 아래에 있는 자이나 율법 없는 자와 같이 된 것은 율법 없는 자들을 얻고자 함이라. 약한 자들에게는 내가 약한 자와 같이 된 것은 약한 자들을 얻고자 하며 내가 여러 사람에게 여러 모습이 된 것은 아무쪼록 몇 사람이라도 구원하고자 함이니 내가 복음을 위하여 모든 것을 행함은 복음에 참여하고자 합니다. What a message. Let me read in English. For though I am free from all, I have made myself a servant to all, that I might win more of them. To the Jews I became as a Jew in order to win Jews. To those under the law I became as one under the law, through not being myself under the law, that I might win those under the law. To those outside the law I became as one outside the law, not being outside the law of God, but under the law of Christ, that I might win those outside the law. To the weak I became weak, that I might win the weak. I have become all things to all people, that by all means I might save some. I do it all for the sake of the gospel, that I may share with them in its blessings. Finally, he says, it's all about because of blessings. Promised since Abraham, you will be blessing. And all the nation will be blessed by you. Through Jesus Christ. Whoever believes and have the faith like Abraham, you will become my people. You will become my child, my family. But someone has to share. Someone has to prepare. Someone has to reach out, come down. Someone has to humble themselves, lower their status to become one of them, to win souls. I think this is more important than on Christmas Day, church and Christians gather together and do performance and just Merry Christmas, dismissed. It's not just about our own salvation. It's not just about music. It's not just about Christian church worship special day. If you really receive this love from God, the birth of Christ, you and me have to learn the mind of God. His faithfulness. 우리가 세상을 포기하면 안 됩니다. 그리고 세상과 같은 사람들이 주변에 있을 때 한 번, 두 번 시도해서 안 됐다고, 문제 생겼다고 포기하는 것은 아직 우리가 하나님의 마음을, 그리스도를 보낸 마음을 모르기 때문일 수 있습니다. God never gave up. He waited several thousand years to prepare. And the fullness of time, 우리에게 그런 때가 찰 때가 있을 줄 믿습니다. 그리고 그 때를 기다리고 우리가 해야 할 것은 우리의 사랑을, 우리 스스로를 낮추며 share하는 것입니다. We are called to share our love. That's why I planned going to visit a nursing home or our community as a church. That's meaningful. That's the way we keep and celebrate Jesus' birth. Not just close the door and just enjoy ourselves and exchange greeting, exchange gifts. Merry Christmas, see you later, Happy New Year. That should not be all. We should focus on Jesus and receive the message and learn the heart of God and mind of God. And let's go out. Let's reach out to the people. Church, please do not just wait and sit back and is there anyone want to visit our church? You want to join our church? Please do not wait. We have to go out and bring them in. Reach out to them. Introduce. Present. There is true joy. There is true peace in Jesus Christ. Guaranteed. So I challenge myself and I challenge all of you. Let's keep Jesus in this season and in our lives and learn the heart of God through His birth and lower ourselves to win others, to win my friends, to win my co-workers or my parents or other family members. Try to be like them. Try to be like them. Humble yourself. Empty yourself. And reach out to them. Faithfully. With steadfast love. 우리 모두에게 하나님이 이 마음을 배우게 해주시기를 간절히 원합니다. 예수님의 탄생, 그것을 통해 하나님 아버지의 하트를, 마음을 가지고 세상을 살아가도록 하십시다.